What's up, guys? Jake, you're getting back in some chaos child. We're in some kind of white void, and we hear a voice we'd heard many times before and felt a concerned hand on our shoulder. So let's get going. He somehow managed to ignore the pain and open his eyes. A worried face was peering down at him. Why was there pain? I don't remember.
大丈夫。最近たまにあるんだ。
Wait, what just happened? Nothing happens. We were fine. A second ago, I think. Overwork, perhaps. You've been so busy lately. You shouldn't push yourself too hard. Well, thank you, guy.
相変わらず心配性だなお前は。大丈夫だよ。
Yeah,
さあ
we're
入ってくれ。
fine. Come into my apartment, person who I can't see for no reason. He opened his mouth as wide as he could and moaned, trying to ease the pain, as he let his important guests inside. Please don't moan in front of your guests. That sends the wrong message. As he turned his back on his guests, he told himself that it had been a long time since he'd seen them. Maybe not? I don't know. I just got here. It couldn't have been more than 2 months since they'd last met. That's not that long, honestly. That's like a normal amount of time. It only felt long because he'd wanted to see them so badly. Oh, now it's sad. Anyways.
そうだ。せっかく来てもらったのにすまん。生放送中なんだよ。
Yeah, nobody cares. Also, it's weird that there's no music here, but fine. Or any background sounds at all. While he was out here, he decided he would cut some cheese for himself and his guests. Don't just fart in their face. That's so weird. Oh, don't worry about us.
いや、お前ら相手にそういうわけにもいかないだろ。
Yeah, we wouldn't want you to have
Huh?
uncut cheese. What? What's wrong?
なんでもない。
Great. We're doing so good right now. The blade wasn't cutting into the cheese. What a tragedy. Wow. That's strange, he told himself as he pushed down with more force. He cut into its surface, and it made an unpleasant sound he'd never heard before. But no matter how hard he pushed, it wouldn't go further. Please don't cut your hand off right now. Yeah, I think you're cutting your hand. Confused, he yanked the knife back and forth like a saw, but it only cut in slightly deeper. What? This is weird. It was as if there was something hard inside the cheese. Please, God, don't cut your hand off. And even though he'd only just taken it out of the fridge, it was slightly warm.
くそ、なんだよこれ。
I don't know. Please don't do what you're doing. Irritated, he slammed the handle of the knife against the cheese. But all it did was bash it in a little. He couldn't cut through it.
ふざけんなよ。
Yeah, this is really bad and upsetting. I'll help you. Oh, thank you. His guests must have heard the sound because they rushed over. They had another knife. When did they get that out? Oh, I don't know, but that sure is convenient that they came over to kill us. There's a trick to cutting this thing. Oh, God. I don't like these sound effects actually at all. They put the knife up against the cheese and began to move it with a practiced hand. It sounds like your work is going well. They smiled at Utni, their voices slightly low. I'm also getting the vibe Utni isn't going to survive this opening. This is what we call a cold open. Utni realized they were trying to keep their voice from being picked up by the streaming microphone and lowered his voice as well. Way to go, Utni. Way to be a participant. He grinned and nodded. His guest had introduced him to a firm that okay, sorry, I can't read. His guest had introduced him to a firm that handled advertising space for popular websites, which had been giving him regular work. His reputation had quietly spread throughout the small web advertising industry, and soon he was getting more and more offers.
有効を予想することが肝なこの仕事は転職だよ。出来レースみたいなもんだ。
I guess he can't feel that he's sawing into it. Like, we can all agree he's definitely cutting his hand with this knife, right? And I guess he just can't feel it? He must be pretty drunk. Then why do these streams? Oh, dude, I've been asking myself that question for years.
一言では言いづらいな。強いて言えば、自分がどこまでいけるか試したい。
That's the spirit. You know what? I believe in you, Utni. If I can do it, you can do it. I didn't even cut my hand open. That's right. His power wasn't meant to be wasted on jobs that anyone could do. Oh, right, he can, like, see the future. He should have seen this future. It seems pretty bad. No, you're sounding like a guy with a knife in his hand. Like, in it, like embedded, not like holding it. No, I think it's wonderful. I said I think twice. I don't know why I did that. And scene. After he'd smacked it a few times, the cheese was a little funny looking, but the even slices were lined up neatly on the plate. Okay, maybe he's not cutting all the way through his hand. Maybe he's just slicing the skin off? That's weird. It's nothing, go on. I'll wait until your stream is finished.
ああ、冷蔵庫の中適当に見繕ってくれていいから。ああ、静かにな。
Does he stream himself eating his skin? I don't like where this is. I don't like any part of this. That does look like cheese. Maybe, you know what? Let's go. Maybe it's fine. Utney took his cheese back to his seat and saw a flood of comments reading, "He's late," and did he log off? What should have only been 3 minutes had turned into more than 15. What a nightmare. Oh, look. It's fine. Probably. That looks fine. Utney put a bite of the cheese into his mouth and began to chew loudly.
申し訳ない。この安売りセールしていたチーズがありえないくらい硬くて。
That's not the only thing. Heyo, talking about my dick. Let's go. He apologized to the camera, remembering to keep up the act of being poor and starving. As he hoped, the comments started to come in. What's happening? Okay, great. So please you don't have to show me. I can imagine it. Great, thank you. This is much better. Okay. Utney's face took on a confused expression. I'm begging you not to put this on the screen. I really don't want to see it, actually. The comments were strange. He thought there might be something on the camera, but he turned around and saw Only's fake poor room.
どうしました?
Probably. Don't show me, though. Don't, please, I'm begging you, game. Don't do this to me. He spoke in the camera, but the comments still didn't make any sense, and they were coming in faster. Maybe there was a problem with the camera. He reached his right hand out toward it. Oh, okay, it's just red. It's just red. Nobody's scared of red. In an instant, his headache was back. Well, okay. Sure. And then he died, I guess. It was the same pain as before. No, it was worse. He closed his eyes and jerked forward, banging his head against the desk. Wow, that's a violent reaction. But the pain in his head was so bad he didn't even feel it. He tried to hold his head in his hands, but for some reason, his right hand wouldn't move. Okay. So instead, he pushed his other hand up against his temple. Did he cut his whole hand off? It felt squishy. His temple or his hand? His temple. The vein was incredibly swollen and it felt like rubber. Oh, he's dying. And each time he felt his blood pulse through it, there was an unpleasant sensation in his fingers. Don't. I really don't want to look at his hand. He stamped his feet against the floor, hoping to find some small escape from the pain. But it didn't even get slightly better. That's weird. Stomping your feet usually works. It was then that he realized he was crying. Oh, he's sad. He could feel the tears coming from his eyes. The pain was moving there now. To his eyes? His eyes hurt. Good. Okay. Unable to bear it, he opened his eyes. Don't open your eyes. Don't open your eyes. It's gonna be bad. Oh, he's fine. Look at that. Look at that. Hand and everything. He gasped at how fine his hand was. The whole scene appeared in front of him like some kind of awful magic trick. Also, this is actually a pretty cool effect. What's going on is you're fine. Nothing bad is happening. He suddenly heard the sound of something dripping wet onto the floor. Oh, it's probably a towel. His eyes reflexively turned towards it. Don't. His right arm was gone at the elbow and the stump was gushing blood. He cut it off at the elbow? He's very strong. Like incredibly strong. Wow, that's a lot of bones. I thought he just did the hand, which is still a lot of bone, but not as much as, you know, the elbow. There was a pool of it on the floor, and the sound he heard was the new blood splattering onto it. Wow. God, this is going so fast. Okay. Well, we really hit the ground running this fucking episode. Utney didn't understand what had happened to him. I have a few theories. What was going on? He'd just gone to check on a knock at the door, and then cut his arm off. Is he doing good? I feel like he's doing good. The pain screamed within him. Any sense of pain in what remained of his right arm was overcome by the pain in his head. He felt nothing from his arm at all, though he saw the blood dripping into the floor. What the hell was going on? He blinked and forced his aching eyes to function as he looked around his room. Oh no. It's just cheese. It's fine. On top of his desk, he found the rest of his arm. It's cheese. It's cheese. You can't trick me. See? Cheese. It was sitting on a plate. At first it looked like it was still in one piece, but it wasn't. No, okay, great, still just cheese. Nope, please. It was neatly sliced into uniform pieces. Each piece was about a centimeter wide, and the slices moved neatly toward his fingers. They sat upon the plate in roughly his arm's original shape. Miraculously, he saw there was no blood on the tip of his index finger. What? Which index finger? Cool. He still didn't understand that it was really his own arm. But sheer disgust at what he saw caused him to leap out of his chair. Maybe don't make any sudden movements. Also, maybe call a hospital. What was this? What kind of prank was this? Yeah, dude, get pranked. Welcome to Prank Invasion. That's him realizing what a good prank it is. The contents of his stomach flooded his mouth. He vomited. It's usually what happens. The pink fluid splashed against the desk. Oh, I wonder why it's pink. He must have drank a lot of Kool-Aid. And then he died. Or not. Oh, he's fine. Do you see how good he is? He saw something solid in the middle of it. It was a thumb. He ate his thumb. Wow, you go, guy. It was covered in bite marks, saliva, and stomach acid, but horribly, he remembered it. Nani? When had he put that into his mouth? Now, I think that all the time, dude. In his pain-filled mind, he suddenly heard a sound he'd never heard before. You know what? I think he's gonna pull through. I think our boy Uteni's gonna be fine. Each time he heard the sound, the pain in his head got worse. He turned towards the camera, hoping for an answer to what was happening. But of course, there was none to be found. The screen was still filling with comments, but his eyes were too filled with tears for him to read it. Oh, he's still sad. And red. And, ew, God, he's a gross person. As the whole world turned red, Uteni didn't even realize his lips were turning purple. From how happy he was. His lips had turned purple from lack of oxygen. Thank you for clarifying. But were stained red with blood from a severed thumb, which he had chewed himself. As he tried to fight the pain, he began to fall unconscious and tears fell from his eyes. The tears seemed pink to him. They are pink, actually. I can see them. Uteni was weeping blood. Oh. I thought that was just a cool effect, but he's magic dying. Great. Look at these comments, and then he turned invisible. He died! Still facing the camera. Wow. A true streamer. Anyways, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to remember... Oh, nope. He's dead. His guests watched the chain of events unfold, then silently headed for the door. Oh! They didn't leave. They were still here. Well, at least they got to watch. That was nice of them. He didn't have to die alone. I guess he was also streaming just before they left the room. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye. Oh, that was so polite. They said as if nothing at all was wrong and shut the door. To be fair, this feels like it was their fault, at least entirely. I kind of assumed he had a desktop, but no. Oh, wow, look at that. So subtle. Don't look. I lied. Wow. Those comments were passive-aggressive. But cool. You know, that's what you get for cutting off your own arm on stream. Nobody's gonna believe you. Shibuya 107, hell yeah. September 19th, 2015, Friday night, which means it's time to party. Or not, or fade to black. Here we are. Well, this is a new character. Momone Takiyanagi, nailing that one I'm sure, had finished her concert. Like always, she stayed behind to help put away the instruments. She even helped clean up the audience seats, even though that was the concert hall's job. Only after all that was done could she take a break. There wasn't much time left before a solo street concert, but she still had to help anyways. She'd always been like that. Anyways, even if it wasn't her responsibility, she couldn't help but get involved. It was like in middle school, one of her friends who wasn't as good at studying asked her for test notes. Or in high school when a girl she knew asked her how to make a Valentine's chocolate for a boy she really liked. She'd stayed up so many nights her own test grades were worse than her friends, and she didn't have even anyone to give chocolate to on Valentine's Day. That's not the order I would have said those words, but whatever. In the end, it was the other person's responsibility, not hers, but... I hope she doesn't cut her arm off. I was just thinking that, Momone. Momone! Momone. I'm sorry, I'm trying out a few different pronunciations. I know it's the same one over and over. But I'm trying to get it, you know? She was at heart scared of not doing everything she could, even if everything wasn't her responsibility. She sounds like a lovely gal. The concert today was another big success. Okay, humble bragging, not a huge fan, but fine. Sure, it was a tiny room that can only fit in 150 people or so, standing room only, but tickets were 3,000 yen for a band with an amateur vocalist like her, and they still sold out instantly. That's pretty cool. It was bizarre how excited the crowd was. She'd heard sobs during the bell, and during one of the high-tempo songs, the audience had stood up all the way to the back row. Didn't you just say it was standing room only? Okay, whatever, though. That doesn't seem important. Okay, yeah, sure. Why would you go to a concert? She felt a chill and hugged herself tightly. It's not that her band wasn't popular. I mean, it clearly was at least a little popular. 150 is respectable. They started out in the Niconia Sang It category, and it kept going by doing covers of popular anime songs. It helped that her face, which had earned her the nickname Scarecrow in school, could look really good when she wore makeup. That's a weird humble brag again, but cool. And if all of them put on ridiculous costumes and acted like idiots, some people would enjoy that. Because their constant performances pulled a decent number of views online. But she noticed. I don't like her name, it's too long. Her last name scares me. The vast majority of the people looking at the videos were people who'd come to her concerts. People who'd experienced that insane intensity were going back to the videos to try to feel it again. And Taki Agami knew they probably wouldn't feel even 1% of it, because their live shows were so good. Yeah, I know, it is impossible. The internet, right? The ticket price and audience sizes were one thing, but the strangest thing to her was their eyes. Their eyes pierced right through her, unblinking. They were like pets, totally dependent on their master. The meaning of the lyrics began to take over their lives, and they never even questioned it. What? Or you're an X-Men, embrace that shit. When she first realized this was happening, she tried to quit the band. Alright, before we find out what kind of weird X-Men power our girl here has, I'm going to draw this episode to a close. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like that, I'm going to like, subscribe. Be sure to tune next week for more Chaos Shot with yours truly. I'll see you guys then.